what is happening and what exactly is trending?
Yeah, exactly. Owen, these days the strategy has been changed. It's not as usual whereby you only see these participants participating either in football or as in netball. But these days, as in the recent seasons, the strategy, of course, has been restructured whereby you see these schools, not only the health institutional ball games, I should say, all the institutions, they start restructuring it right from the other sporting activities, and then they end it with the famous one, that is football. Yeah, as you have said, today is the day for athletics. As we speak right now, the participants, the other side of the famous ground known for athletics in Western region, we are talking about Barfa playing ground. Most of the participants, the other side. After that, the cross country, of course, was in the morning hours. You have just lamented in the famous ground, also golf ground. And right now, it is the biggest of it, which is taking place that side of Barfa playground. Then starting from tomorrow, that's when you will see the other sporting disciplines coming on board. You talk about football, you talk about netball, you talk about volleyball, so many sporting activities. And someone might be confused, might be asking him or herself, why is it like this? As I had said earlier on, the strategy has been restructured, and there is no any other way that ball games are for primary schools, ball games are for secondary schools. It goes systematically. It started with the secondary schools. It then came to primary schools. Now it has gone to the health institutions, and very soon you will also see tertiary institutions bouncing back. After that, also university ball games, they are bouncing back. All what we can say is you can come to Arua City, the host school, as my colleague has said, is Arua Comprehensive School of Nursing and Midwifery. And also, one thing someone might be asking him or herself is, Arua Comprehensive School of Nursing is not having its own playing ground. Where are these games going to be played? I can confirm to you, in Arua City, we sort out things in harmonious manner. There is no any other way whereby any institution will say that, no, this is my pit, you cannot honor these games here. There are so many pitches we have in Arua City. Yeah. You can go to Vara SS, there are so many pitches. The one for Republic is still under rehabilitation, and also Barfa playing ground. You can use the ground for different sporting activities. What I can say is, concerning the issue of playing grounds as pitches is not all that a very big issue. What we can only say is the games have commenced today. You will be seeing so many sporting activities, not only football, not only netball. It has started with athletics, then the upcoming days shall be for the other sporting disciplines.
Yeah, of course, a very big one. I want to say it's a very good one because there are some people who may not see the beauty of our city.
True.
And the adventure is in them. And of course, bringing the teams here would be something that is so good, because if you see schools all the way from Mbale, in fact the whole Uganda is gathering here. That gives the community what is called income, revenue, because these schools are sleeping here, they're doing a lot of things. There's one that is happening in Kuluva, by the way. Still the health institutions, they have also come through. There's some activity also taking place there. I think competition in other sectors, I don't know whether it is MDD, whether it's something else, but it is taking place at Kuluva. So you would see that this is one big one. And then two, for those who would also want to see that their school is to go through, it is also happening, because there are some of these students who have never reached Arua.
True.
And they are coming. So look at movement of these games from here to the rest and the rest. What do you take of that? Because I think government is trying to push a lot of things in the world of sports this time.
First of all, someone might also be confused. What kind of, as what category of schools, health institutions are participating in these ball games? Because recently we had the one for Western region that was hosted by Koboko municipality, whereas Koboko district, which came to an end last week. What is taking place right now is called nationals, whereby champions from different sub-regions we have in the country, they are now coming to meet. That means the tournament, Arua City, where the Arua Comprehensive School of Nursing is hosting right now, they are hosting champions from different sub-regions we have in the whole country of Uganda. That is the latest update I can give you, such that we wrap up that confusion.
So you're telling me it's only for the champions who have been in the different districts who are meeting here today?
Yeah, exactly.
So if your school has not been a champion, you cease to be part of this tour here?
Yeah, schools that that performed very well
in their various districts or regions?
Various regions, because you know, when it comes to health institutional ball games, because health institutions are not very many, like secondary schools, or as like primary schools, or as like tertiary institutions, they are very few. For them, they start building their competition right at the regional level, not now from the city level, as from the district level. That means champions, as the runners-up, I should say now in general term, schools that performed very well, they are meeting the champions and also the runners-up from the different sub-regions we have in the country. Also coming to the other point you mentioned, now Arua City, we should say Western Nile region at large, they are the ones hosting these ball games. How is it of help? How is it of benefit to the community, maybe to the participants? Already the fact remains, ever since that status was given to Arua City itself, Arua City has been doing a lot in hosting ball games. Since 2022, they have been performing extremely very well as far as hosting these ball games are concerned. Last season, they were able to host MDD. MDD was hosted by it was co-hosted by Mbara Senior Secondary School, St. Joseph's College Ombati, Munigal Senior Secondary School, not forgetting about Ediofa Girls. Before that, also in 2022, we saw the nationals for secondary schools also being hosted here in Arua City. And again this year, it is the first of its kind. We are seeing health institutional ball games nationwide being hosted here in Arua City. That means, as you had said earlier on, Arua City, Western Nile region, Arua City being a mother to Western Nile region, we are moving, because each and every year hosting national games like this is not an easy thing.
Exactly. Of course, we've seen that also happen in the primary schools. We've seen that happen in the secondary schools. We have seen now in the health institutional games that, of course, MDD was here, I think, at Muni. I think Arua is trying to get to something. Now the question is how, because most of the time it's by default that if you hosting, you automatically qualify.
True.
And if you don't qualify, you still have a chance to get yourself, just like Koboko. You did see when they organized the league by the federation has been taking place at Koboko, by default, they still qualified and played. In fact, even when Koboko hosted the nationals, here, they were already ejected, if you remember, but they still had to go through to make sure that they host these games and still got a chance again to play. So I think it's so interesting to see that teams really push, but if the teams are not pushing so brilliantly, then schools need to up their games, because did Arua Comprehensive School of Nursing go through, or because they are also hosts and they are going to be automatic?
Yeah.
Were they regional champions?
Obviously, at the regional level, they managed to perform very well, because knowing that as being the host at the national level, you need to prove to the world that as being the host, you are coming in the game, in the competition as a competitor, not as a participant. It's true, we have seen some of these schools coming into these tournaments just as participants. They participate, they don't compete, at the end they go back. Being the host school, of course you need to prove, like I said, to the whole nation that you have not been nominated by mistake. So at the regional level in Koboko, they managed to perform very well in all the sporting activities, and that one will act as a fear factor to the rest of the schools that are coming to compete with them. But the question remains, can they be able to transform? Can they be able to shift the performance they had at the regional level to see that they also speak their name in volume when it comes to national level? Because they are going to meet different institutions from the different parts of the country. You don't know their playing style. So there are so many things. There is a lot of beauty which is coming in this game. Like you said, what you want to expect is, as being a host school, at least you should be a competitor by moving, if not very far, at least far.
Okay, and of course, away from there, you can still catch these games, and I believe the Nilecast team will also be giving you more of the updates on how exactly the things have gone on right this evening at the 7 p.m. news bulletin right here. So don't miss to follow it up wherever you're catching the show, because we shall also be talking about it tomorrow, as our chief sports reporter, Mr. Oraku Benson, will be getting you all the updates right from all the angles over the health institutional games that is ongoing right now in Arua City. Now, leaving alone that, the Super Cup, Arua Super Cup 2024 is set to commence on the 12th of this very month, and probably now we're 11 days to go. And if you look at 11 days, that means these teams should be preparing, but some teams have not yet set off. Two, I can tell you that there is also, because I was asking questions some time back here with Linda, how will the 7 teams play? How are they going to be? Now, another guest team has been added. This is Muni University. I remember bringing up Rashid here. He did confirm that Muni will be one team, because they're also preparing it for their university games that are soon coming right there. Benson, Muni, and Onduparaka are the teams that are there. Onduparaka falls here. It's a good one for the team for preparation level, to increase their preparation level. Two, it is also because they are the host, and just like I did say, by default you fall to host these games, and you host you be part of it. So preparation wise, it's a big one. But why has Arua DFA taken long, or Arua City taken long to organize such? Why is it this time? Why haven't they been organized this before?
You know, Owen, one thing the viewers should know is mostly sports is all about copying mechanism. You see it from another person, and then you copy it, you paste, and you see how it can be in position to work. Yeah, when we talk about FIFA Super 8 versus Super 8, I think it is something which had started in the other DFAs. Like in the region of West Nile, we have been witnessing this one in Yumbe. That means it has been yielding the fruit.
And now, this is the second time, I guess.
This is the second time. And also, I think it has been copied from FIFA Super 8 and now been allowed at the district level and also at the sub-city level. And they have been trying to see how it can work. Like in Yumbe, this time, let's take specifically Western region in Yumbe. The second time, first time it was a genius one. This time it's going on so well. That means the other districts, the other sub-cities we have it, they're also looking for a way of how they can be able to build theirs, how it can work. But the way I'm seeing this tournament alone, Super 8, is specifically for preparation ahead of the new season. And Onduparaka being the host club, this one of course is going to add a lot of spice into the tournament. And also Muni University coming as an institution will also spice up the game to make a total of 8 teams, and everyone is waiting to see how beautiful that game, that tournament is going to be. Being the first of its kind, you know, having a tournament for the first of its kind, sometimes we take it as a trial. Can the trial be able to register success? But me, I am looking at the 2 iconic points here. Onduparaka, one of the biggest clubs we have in the country, not only within the region of West Nile, in the country, already been included into the team, and also having a guest team in the names of Muni University that has been also performing very well at the institutional ball games. I know what I know is this one will spice up everything in the tournament.
A very big one, of course. Now Muni University has been added, and are you expecting a lot of things are coming up right for 12th? Now, of course, 12th is the day that you should be expecting, and some of the games that will be starting include the Rua Airfield taking on Visoni IFC at 10 a.m. and then Kuluva Rainbow takes on Muni University at 12 p.m. as of course Arua City welcomes Alpha Rising Stars at 2 p.m. And then you have Odramachako FC taking on Onduparaka right there at 4 p.m. Green light is the place, but 4 games in a day. What a game that will be! But of course you'll be seeing also teams. A team will play the rest of the team, so it is
round robin.
Yeah.
I think that is the best strategy. They have utilized the playing the game in a round robin manner is the best thing, because we are left with a few days for the new season in all the leagues we have in the country to commence. Like I said earlier on, this is a tournament just to test the capability of the players, of the teams ahead of the new season. Round robin, I think, will be the best of it, and also this one will add revenue for these clubs. I think it will also attract fans in numbers. Otherwise, if it was to be settled like every club hosted the games maybe at their different venues, of course you will not be seeing the fans coming in numbers, and the name of the playing ground, the name of the stadium alone speaks volume also ahead of the tournament. Of course, green light alone, people will be pouring in numbers, and others will be waiting the whole day because it is a round robin game. I think that is the best strategy they have used, taking the game to be in a round robin way.
So I think very many will also be expecting to see business-wise they get in there, because I know these players or people who come and spectate will eat and the rest. So you should be getting right there. But all in all, Group A has Arua City, Alpha Rising, Nduparaka, and then Odramachaku. As Group B has Arua Airfield, Ovisoni, Kuluva Rainbow, and Muni University. Those are the groupings of the two groups right there, and the clubs that are right into that. So we're expecting these games end on 21st of September 2024, and fixtures are said are subject to change in case of any other challenge that comes, or any other matter that arises through right there. Now, this is the time that you're going to be seeing clubs probably get to people tend to assess their new signings. Clubs tend to see who is where, and the rest of the things that will be coming right through in there. Let's go out from there. The champions of the Super 8 were said and were crowned already, and this time around Bull Football Club are the champions. Was it by default? Did you see that coming? Because yesterday was the day that Bull FC successfully defeated their FUFA Super 8 title, or defended, in fact I should say, because last season also they won, but this time around you did see also them getting the team. But in their game they had to play Viper Sports Club, a game that ended 0-0 and went to penalty shootout 6-5, winning against Vipers.
The fact is, when we talk about some of the teams we have in StarTimes Uganda Premier League, there are some teams which are still struggling. There are some teams that have established themselves. There are some teams that are always known as favorites when it comes to tournaments like this. Speaking about the Bull, I should say open, this is a team that has already established itself, because it's not the first of its kind we are seeing the team winning trophy as trophies. I remember 2 years ago, they won the Stanbic Uganda Cup. It was not against the tip side, it was also against one of the biggest sides we have in the country, that is the team of Sports Club Vipers. And also winning this one means that they have not won it by luck, they have actually been fighting for it. And this is a team, when you look at the setup of the team in all the sectors, this has been a brilliant team. That's why each and every season they are one of the competitors in the league of Stanbic Uganda Cup or StarTimes Uganda Premier League. And now winning the gong, what does this one mean ahead of the new season? The way I've seen, they have actually picked from where they left it last season. I think the only thing which is remaining for the team of Bull is to see that they win StarTimes Uganda Premier League, because each and every season you always see them sometimes finishing the first phase of the season very well, coming to the second phase. That's where the mess up. But I've loved the way how of late they have constructed themselves. So Bull winning the trophy is not by mistake. They have constructed themselves.
Yeah, Bull now is doing so much to see that things work really there. But what is that problem of not winning the Premier League is now the question they need to sort out. But I think they have defended this very well. Out of the 8 team, of course, the third team that finished, the team that finished third is the FUFA Select team, which everyone thought maybe would be the team to win this, but instead Bull had to go through this and won it. So as we talk, KCCA claimed the 5th place And then Sports Club Villa, the 7th place. You would see that teams differing from different things. Chitara was beaten, by the way, by the select team to see that they were 4th. So, a very, very interesting game to say. But there are things that people learn because names like Henry Chitegenyi having all moves in there, trying to push things through here and there, it adds in value right there. But was it a good idea to bring in a select team? Because some teams were complaining that why should they drop me, and yet I tried.
You know, this is African football and more so Ugandan football, whereby it turns there are also very many. Lawan Itu, the discussion we had just concluded, the Super 8 of or the Super 8 of that's Arua district. They have gone for an institution, and now talking about the federation itself. For me, I don't see it as a bad idea, provided the team you have brought on board is an organized team. And we saw the team FUFA Select spicing up the tournament, and they beautified the tournament. I don't see it as a bad thing. What the federation, of course, will only have to look at is how organized the team, how organized the institution they are bringing on board is. I think the side of FUFA coming was not all that a bad thing.
Okay, that's a very big one, of course, right there. Just like you said, anything can happen in Uganda. If you look at the fixtures, the Star Times Uganda Premier League fixtures, you will see that games that are indicating Sports Club Villa's home is Mandela National Stadium. But according to the recent posts or the official communication made by Sports Club Villa a few days ago, indicates that they are taking it back to Mutesa 2 Wankulukuku Stadium with as their home ground because Nambole is not going to be possible. I remember saying that the engineer of the Nambole Stadium, the UPDF engineer, of course, said that unless they are going to be using chopper to pick them from wherever the players are, put them in and then play. What about the opponents? That's another thing. He was just trying to make a joke that Nambole shall not be used by Sports Club Villa because it's still under construction. It is not yet accomplished. I think something to me which is okay. Because there are very many games that are going to be happening. You see when Kenya is coming to host their game in Uganda. That means Nambole needs maintenance every day. Now what about when the Premier League games are also going on? How consistent will the maintenance be? They had said that for that grass to be able to, it can only host 2 games in a week. And it takes 1 week to also grow back. So that's another thing. Remember, it's not an artificial turf. It is real grass that is going to be right there. So Villa back to Wankulukuku. What does that mean for them? How was their plan before? Don't you think this has affected them with, somehow?
You look at the team of Sports Club Villa in the last few seasons. They have been suffering. They have been moving here and there in looking for pitches, and yet this is one of the iconic clubs we have in the country. I should say the biggest one when it comes to the number of trophies they have won. The other season they were shifted to Akibwa Lira. Then last season they were in a different playing ground, and this season they are still looking for a way of where they are going to host their games. I think this is one thing they will have to focus on, because they are having so many sponsorships. The money is there. Why can't they come on board and work on their own playing ground? A playing ground, of course, that can be as an exemplar to the rest of the upcoming teams. It's been like, I should call them a father to the rest of the clubs. Why can't they be able to? Because what I know is every sporting discipline, there is always iconic thing behind that. Like for basketball, you can't be having a basketball club minus having a basketball court, and you can't call yourself a very big football club when you don't have a recognized pitch, or as a recognized playing ground, or as a recognized stadium. It's been one of the biggest clubs in the country. I think what they need to look upon in the near future is to secure a very good playing ground for them. Even if not a stadium, at least they should be able to use part of the revenue They have been acquiring through sponsorship, through get collections to see that they come up with a playing ground, a very recognized playing ground for them.
Now, one of the biggest things is Sports Club Villa hiked their prices of entry. Recently, did say that all gate collections are going to be at 50,000, and they have struggled with the revenue, collecting the revenue. They are getting back to Nambo, to Wankulukuku. Remember, even you getting there, you're supposed to pay for this pitch, for the service. Even if they had gone to Nambole, still they had to pay Nambole.
True.
Now, with this, why don't you just invest that money in a place, whether out of the city, to see that this is your ground?
True.
And make sure that you achieve whatever you are supposed to achieve. Villa has been there. They have been sharing with the Vipers, with Express. Now, as we talk, that means it is still going to push them back to readjust their fixtures. Because in case their fixtures fall still at the same time with the Express Football Club, then they will have to change timing and the rest, or maybe the days right there, which is also another work in there. So we are yet to see, but some sources within the club suggested that the move was driven by financial considerations, with Wankuluku offering them more cost-effective options compared to Nambole, which I think would be a very big one. So they will have to work onto that and see that they go, because also you have to pay players, you have to do this, a lot of things in football that you need to do to make sure that you achieve the best right through. So it is one of the biggest one. Uganda, Cranes also had one of the biggest thing. They announced their squad that will be facing that will be, of course, going to South Africa, and then also Congo also named theirs. But out of that, there's one name that people are still looking into, is the Capradosi guy, who of course had a very good moment in there. Now these are the names: Ismail Watenga, the Golden Arrow player; Nafian Alionzi, who plays for Defense Forces in Ethiopia; Charles Lukwago of Venda, who are the goalkeepers, and who would be your goalkeeper probably to start if you're Paul Put. And then Elvis Buono, you have James Begisa of URA, Ismail Muleme of Victoria Vicos, Joseph Ochaya has been called back into the team after a long time; Elio Capradosi, who has no club, he's unattached by the way; Aziz Kayodo, and then Bevis Mugabe of Famagusto, and there's Halid Walio of El An, and then Arnold Odongo of Sports Club Villa has also been called into the team. There is Timothy Wani of AFC Ashdod, and Kenneth Semakula of Clan Africain, and you have the midfielders like Khalid Aucho of Yanga, and then Bobosi Biaruhanga of Austin 2, and Joel Serunjoji of KCCA. You have also the man by the names of Ronald Sechiganda of Sports Club Villa, who has been awarded the captainship armband. Then you have Travis Mutiabo of Zamalek, and Said Mayanja, who also traveled with the team, and he's for KCCA. As the forwards include Dennis Omedi of Chitara Football Club, Jude Semugabi of Chitara, and then you have Joachim Ojara of Al Makaluoni, and then you have Rogers Mato of course, the team of Braga Stramika. Not forgetting, of course, Mohamed Shaban of Al Ahil Lal, and then you have Kevin Kabuyem, and not forgetting Alan Okelo of Viper Sports Club. Now, those are the names who are going to be representing, or who have traveled to South Africa to represent Uganda right there. Before we take a break, that's where I want us to focus on. Would Uganda overcome the Bafana Bafanas?
When you look at these names that have traveled on the board or on the paper, they are familiar names, they are usual suspects, but the question is, can they be able to yield the result? Is actually what everyone is waiting to see. Because you look at Uganda Cranes squad, they have been inconsistent when it comes to picking positive results. The moment you expect them to pick a win, that's when they will disappoint. When you expect them to disappoint, that's when they will win. And most of the defeats they have been picking, they have been coming towards the closing edges. You look at the defeat Uganda Cranes had into the hands of the Desert Foxes, that's Algeria. What I can say is these are usual names. The only thing, the only task is now has been left into the hands of the players, and also the technical team that has been headed by the head coach to see that the tactics they employ will be in position to fit for these players, and at the end the general result is yield.
Yeah, Uganda is heading there, and of course they went. We did see during the weekend, and we're expecting probably to see the best for them yet again. But all in all, we would love to see them have the best. So let's wait and see. Out of that, there is also the the NBL, which of course went on the finals with City Oilers still close in on the 10th straight national basketball league titles. They won this against, of course, KIU Titans with only a margin of 2, I should say, because it was 72-70, which meant very big for them. Now the City Oilers are still dominating, and they have done it for the 10th time straight in there. This dominance looks so big.
Yeah, it's true, the dominance looks so big, because 10 consecutive seasons you are always crowned as the champions. It's like how Bayern Munich is dominating German Bundesliga. So I think this one is now a task to the rest of the teams to see that they come as a competitor. Maybe when a season commences like this, they always look at City Oilers as the favorites. I think they need to eliminate that mentality, that ideology, because when a season commences like this, you always see your opponents as the favorites. It's not good. You are giving them the platform. I think that one, of course, will not be in position to speak the volume of the tournament, volume of the league, if everything is dominated by one club. I think what I want to say in summary is it is the right time for the rest of the clubs to wake up and also start putting star performances. Okay,
now of course right now one of the biggest things that we shall be looking into is how the international scene is like, because teams did recruitment